Alright, so a little bit of homework. Found the relays, figured out what they are. I did order new ones. They're these two right here, high speed, low speed. Ordered them, they'll be here in a bit. I'm sure in a day or two. In the meantime, I have a fan resistor. So we'll swap that out and see. Hopefully it's something that simple. That part should be, I believe it's this guy right here. Hopefully y'all can see that. So almost seems like I can get it from up here. Maybe if I take this tray out and then yeah, if not, we'll jack the car up and get it out that way. So a little bit of exploratory surgery, and the front shard has to come out to get the cooling fan resistor out anyways. So that means the entire radiator has to come out, which means I need to drain the coolant and deal with that mess. It comes out of the bottom. It's fun like everything else in this car. So I gotta do a bunch of stuff down there. I already undid the electrical connections and do that. I found quite a few random loose things and hangy things, mainly the O2 sensors, so I'm gonna have to zip tie all that stuff back up. And yeah, so I just need to go over this car once, since it's been worked on several times by several people other than who usually works on it, it seems. But we'll get it put back together. I'm gonna drain the coolant, probably let it drain overnight, maybe tomorrow come back and try and pull the radiator. Alright, got the coolant started to drain, upper radiator hose disconnected. I think I mentioned before we got all the electrical I think that we need to disconnected. The AC, both fans, the resistor itself, and there was one over here somewhere. All disconnected. Not going to get the lower radiator hose tonight. I don't feel like crawling around in the coolant down there. Did put a bucket under it, but the petcock on that radiator is the absolute worst thing in the world. It's literally just a bolt in a hole. There's no spout on it or anything to direct it any which direction, so it just went everywhere. We'll have to buy some new coolant, but that's not a problem. And yeah, so I'll let this drain overnight, let it dry up, come out here in the morning, hopefully before it gets too awfully hot, and we'll see if we pop the radiator out. We'll do the new fan shroud and the new resistor. So see y'all tomorrow. So got up at 6 this morning, raced the sun, got the new fan shroud in there, new resistor. I'm going to go ahead and say this one was not in the best of shape. So, bit of a challenge, wiggling it all up in there by myself. But it's in, it's secure. Got to close the drain and hook all the plumbing back up and the electrical. And should be good to go. All in all, pretty painless. Just a little bit of finagling and wiggling to get everything out of there. It is a really tight fit, so just like everything else in this car. So sun's catching up, it's getting warm. I think we'll come back tonight and try and finish up all the plumbing and everything. So I lied after the last clip. I just decided to put it back together and deal with the heat. So all back together, no leaks. Overfilled the coolant a little bit, wait for the thermostat to open. I'm sure it'll suck that down, but it's purring. Sounds like it always does. Turned the AC on and it sounded like I had fans, so we'll let it get up to temp, check the coolant level, let the fans kick on, and alright, so here's where we're at. Sun's down, it's nice and cool out again. Got it all back together, let it run. No leaks, that's good. I think the thermostat's not opening because I find it hard to believe I have the exact same, if not more, coolant than I started with. Let it run for about an hour, get up to temp. Temp was the same. Low speed fans never kicked on again. High speed fans will kick on when you turn the AC on. So for now, I'm going to change the thermostat. Has been sitting for a year without running. Probably a smart idea anyways. I have on order both sets of relays as well as the sensors. There's apparently 2 coolant sensors in here. There's one for the computer and one for the gauge. So once those get here, we'll change those out. But for now, we're going to do the thermostat, which should be, if I recall, right down here. So we'll take the battery out, take the battery box out, take the intake out, and yeah, that'll be that. That's a little crusty. It's a little grody. Where's the Bible? Don't know if the O-ring goes under or over the thermostat. T. Alphabet. T. Thermostat. 3-4. Start it up. Back it up. See if it starts leaking. One of these days, somebody's going to invent a car stereo that remembers what time it is when you unplug the battery. I've only ever had one of those, and it was a really, really expensive Alpine. Seems like it'd be pretty damn easy to put a freaking watch battery in there and have it keep time. Does it sound like we have a vacuum leak? Definitely sounds like we have a vacuum leak. I guess we don't. Just needs a moment. Alright, if the coolant level doesn't go down now, when the thermostat opens, I'm calling shenanigans. Because there's no way I had more coolant than when I started this morning. But for some reason I did. So we'll let this heat up and we'll come back and see how it's doing.